Ghetto Love Story is one Nigerian movie that truly lives up to its name. I say this because we've seen Nollywood movies these days with titles that have little or nothing to do with the actual film. But Ghetto Love Story truly captures the essence of a love story set in the ghetto. A boy, Obinna, played by Akah and Nnani, is in love with a girl, Stella, played by Beverly. They grew up together in a ghetto neighborhood and have been in love for a long time. Stella has to go to university and Obinna is kind of scared that she's going to fall out of love with him when she gets there. But she convinces him with, "No, I'm gonna love you forever and ever and you're the one for me. Blah, 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 blah." His best friend, a boy, played by Ehis, is not having that at all. He's like, "My guy, no be so." Anyway, Obinna remains a faithful boyfriend, sending his girlfriend weekly upkeep money, and honestly, Stella is really appreciative of the money because she knows where Obi is coming from.
My boyfriend just sent me money. How cute! How much did he send us? 5K.
It is important to note that Obinna has a father who is sick at home. So while Stella is at school, she meets Leah, actually Cordelia, who is her roommate and who entices her to the good life, or would I say bad life. Stella then meets this guy at a party and sleeps with him. Something happens after this party that makes Stella run back home to her faithful and loving boyfriend Obinna, and she sleeps with him for the first time ever before returning to her house in their neighborhood. While Stella is back, she's not really a good girlfriend to Obinna. She's still going out when Obinna really needs her because he is obviously going through a lot. I'm not going to tell you the lot he was going through, but you need to watch the movie to see. Meanwhile, Folake, a hairdresser, on the other hand, played by Dorothy Bachor, who has an insane crush on Obinna, is there for him and is shooting her shots back to back. Despite all her efforts, Obinna doesn't fall for her until one day he falls bagam like a pack of cards. I mean, body no be firewood, right? Stella, the original girlfriend, gets pregnant and her grandparents are like, "You have to marry Obinna because that's the guy they know." And that's how the movie truly enters the next level. No spoilers. Now to what I like about this movie. It stays true to its name, the Ghetto Love Story. I could point out at least 3 ghetto love stories. The one between Obinna's poor dad and his mom from a rich family, the one between Obinna and Stella, and the one between Obinna and Folake. It is a nice storyline. The story really makes sense and is genuinely good. It is familiar, but it is different. I also love how the movie ended, even though at one point towards the end I was like, why do you guys have to end it like this? I'm the kind of person who doesn't like tragic endings in movies. I mean, life is already hard. Some people are watching movies to escape, so please let everything end well in this fake world of movies. I know it is not realistic, but it's a movie. You can do anything. Anyways, that was not the real end. The last 5 minutes of the movie delivered a shocking twist and it ended well for some characters. Not everybody, but it was a good ending. Not so realistic, but yeah, it's a nice story. It's a good story. And they say it's based on true events, which is impressive. And this is Basketmouth's first movie. Basketmouth served as comic relief in this movie. He was a sheet contractor, like he was contracted to extract sheets from the sockaway. And so he always came with this other funny guy trying to fix the sheet situation. The movie ran for months, and from the beginning to the end, there was always a sheet situation which needed fixing by Basketmouth.
Now, they call Libino's chief exporter
of everything from the anime.
It was actually not just comic relief because in the end, a different situation erupts at that sockaway. I have to give kudos to him, and the writer, Miss Vic. It's a very good movie. The cinematography is great. The way the camera followed the subjects, you would know that they were very intentional. The cameras did an excellent job of capturing different angles. I was like, yeah, this is good. The use of light and shadows, no. I have to give the team a round of applause. It was very well done. The sound and music were also on point. Basketmouth's music was used most of the time in the movie, but it also had those background sounds that evoke feelings. They were present, especially when something sad was about to happen. The sound will build up, letting you know something bad was coming. You'd feel like you were right there with them. Another thing the movie did well was something I can't quite name, but when something happened, they didn't show us the result right away. Instead, they acted out the aftermath. For example, when Stella got pregnant, she was doing morning devotion with her parents and suddenly started to throw up in the typical Nollywood movie way. They didn't show us the confirmation of the pregnancy, but they showed Stella's grandmom, played by Patience Ozoko, and her grandfather taking Stella to meet Obinna, saying, "Boss, you're gonna have to marry this baby. It was really nice and important to the plot because the way the movie ended, we didn't see it coming. We saw the results, and if you're not paying attention, you might miss it or end up asking your neighbor in the cinema what's happened, like an olodo. Just kidding. You're not an olodo. Nobody's an olodo. What I did not like about the movie, not much, but Beverly and Akah were playing characters much younger than they look. They seemed more like 30-year-olds when they were supposed to be around 20 in the movie. Acted well though. Beverly was incredible in her role. She did exceptionally well at Watch a Movie just because she's in it. And yeah, the guy who slept with Stella, Dafe, was acting in a strange manner, and I couldn't understand why. Maybe they asked him to act foolish because he did come across that way at times. Still on his character, Stella walks into the room with him, kisses him, but then wakes up confused, claiming he raped her. It all felt very strange because, well, let's not dwell on it. The guy even apologized for his actions, but it was really confusing because it seemed like she was willing. It's possible it wasn't consensual if Stella was drugged beforehand, but they didn't show us that. They only depicted Stella dancing with him at a party, then going to his room where things took a different turn. One more thing, there were no subtitles. Who should watch this movie? As I mentioned, it's a good movie. Everyone should see it. This is one movie that every Nigerian needs to watch and make references to decades later. Yeah, this is the movie that you should pay to go and see in the cinema, or maybe just wait until, of course, it comes out on a streaming platform, but it won't give you the experience as a cinema would. On moral lesson, so Stella grew up as a sheltered child because of some circumstances. Her family did not let her be with who she wanted to be with, that's Obinna, for no justifiable reason at all. And they realized and apologized for the mistake when it was too late. So there's a lesson there. I'm not going to tell you, but there's a lesson there. This movie teaches you to also stay true to who you are. Because you're going to university and you're seeing like some flashy things, it doesn't mean you have to change who you are. If your soccer way is bad, pay that money they're asking for or you are going to enter shito.